In order to really grow, you have to understand the importance of knowing your habits and developing routine. Developing some type of routine or regimen and knowing your habits, knowing whether they're good qualities to have or bad, knowing what they could lead to is very essential and conducive for your growth. At the end of the day, if you don't know the effects of everything that you do, you're not going to know how it affects you in the long term. Anything that you do consistently will have an effect on you long term. If you eat McDonald's and Wendy's and all types of unhealthy food every day or 3 times a week, whatever the case may be, over a consistent period of time, it's going to have an effect on you. What you do once usually does not have that much of an effect. There's very few things that you can do once that have a large effect. There's a lot of things, however, that if you keep doing them in small amounts over time, they have a large effect over you. Smoking weed, investing money, eating junk food, playing video games, reading books, listening to podcasts, watching daytime television. Notice how everything I mentioned can sway from either good to bad. It could be on one side of the spectrum or it could be on the complete and total opposite. There's individuals that don't indulge in weed. There's individuals that don't indulge in eating fast food. And there's individuals that don't indulge in watching daytime television. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do any of these things at all, but understand the habit, understand what it is, and understand the effects it could have on you when it compounds, when you do it in excess, when you do it consistently. What are the compound effects of it? A lot of rich people understand this concept. That's why you have people that wake up at 5 a.m. and you have this whole community of people that are dedicated to waking up at 5 a.m. It's the habit. It's the habit of waking yourself up at the same time every single day. Once you know that you wake up at the same time every single day, you'll get more things done in the day because you'll have a consistent schedule, you have a consistent routine, you have a time frame to work between. If you're waking up at 10 o'clock one day, 12 o'clock the next day, 2 o'clock in the afternoon one day, then 7 o'clock, you're all over the place. You're never going to get anything done consistently. At the end of the day, you should not be putting yourself into circumstances or situations to where one day you're expending maximum effort and then the next day you're expending no effort, because that's not efficient. You're not going to get to your goal. You're going to gas out every time. And this is why a lot of people burn out. This is why a lot of people can't commit to their goals, because they don't develop routine. They don't develop small habits. They just go from 0 to 100. You ping pong from extreme to extreme. This is why people can't stay on track with diets. This is why people can't stay on track with dating, whatever the case may be. You cannot ping pong from one extreme to another. You cannot go from smoking weed every day to never smoking weed again. You could try, but when you relapse, you're going to relapse hard. You need to develop the habit, the small habits, understanding the power of the compound effect, small investments over time. If you want to start working out, you want to start working out consistently, don't start by going to the gym and working out for 3 hours, 2 hours every single day for 2 weeks, because by the 3rd week, I guarantee you'll stop because you're not used to it. You're going to say that you're tired, you're going to take a rest day, and then that rest day is going to turn into a rest week, that rest week's going to turn into a rest month, and then you got a fucking box of dominoes on your chest while you're watching Family Guy. Why? Because you did something that wasn't sustainable. It wasn't a habit that was sustainable to you. You didn't build yourself up to that. You saw somebody else doing something. You didn't realize how much work it took to get there, the routine it took to get there, and you try to skip steps. Don't try to skip the steps. If you want to do something like, okay, I want to get in really good shape, you need to start with the small steps and do them consistently. It's gonna be boring. It's super boring at first because you're limiting yourself to how much you could potentially do to do what you know you can do consistently. But once you develop that confidence in that pocket to do that thing consistently, and once you develop the tolerance, then you increase it. There's so many people that smoke weed, so they would understand this concept. When you first start smoking weed, your tolerance is incredibly low. When you first start drinking alcohol, your tolerance is incredibly low. But the more you do it, the more your tolerance increases, so you have to drink more. It's the same thing with any habit. If you want to be better with your finances, you need to start with smaller financial decisions. If you jump to financial extremes that you're not used to, you're going to end up suffering 9 times out of 10. You're just going to rubber band in all these situations. You're pulling a rubber band back and you're just going to shoot forward, and then you're going to come back to neutral. You're going to come back to baseline. And why are you going to come back to baseline? Because you keep trying to shoot yourself forward. Keep trying to shoot yourself forward instead of taking those incremental steps. So you need to understand your habits. This consistency thing, the idea of consistency affects you in more ways than one. You could consistently be fucking your life up, or you could consistently be building your life up. And you need to find the ground to choose that.